blessing, see what God has done.
You're in for a treat today because we're supporting our wonderful Deborah Thomas. She's one of the founders of the church. She's in the Licensed Unity Teacher Program, and she's going to graduate this June. It's so wonderful. It truly is wonderful. In one of her classes, she was asked to write a service. And what she did is, I was inspired by you, Gary. I wrote a Reader's Theater piece. It's beautiful, and it's so in line with our Lenten journey. So, with no further ado, here's Deborah Thomas, Candace Southmaid, Kathy Overcamp, and Lucy Ruiz.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, my talk title is Faith and Gratitude, a Prescription for Wholeness. And it comes from Luke 17:11-19. On the way to Jerusalem, Jesus was going through the region between Samaria and Galilee. As he entered a village, 10 men with a skin disease approached him. Keeping their distance, they called out, saying, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." When he saw them, he said to them, "Go and show yourselves to the priests." As they went, they were made clean. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, praising God with a loud voice. He prostrated himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Then Jesus asked, "Were not 10 made clean? So where are the other 9? Did none of them return to give glory to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Get up and go your way. Your faith has made you well." So I've invited my friends here to do the Reader's Theater. It's titled Faith and Gratitude, a Prescription for Wholeness. Stars Candace as Jesus, Kathy as 10 lepers, and Lucy as the Samaritan who came back. By the time we reach the end of our story, I hope you will see that faith and gratitude do more than bring healing. They restore us to wholeness, body, mind, and spirit. Okay. Jesus was traveling to Jerusalem and found himself between Samaria and Galilee. He came upon 10 people with leprosy on the roadside. They approached him, but kept their distance as required by law. But they raised their voices.
"Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. Jesus, Master, have mercy on us."
You'll notice they didn't ask for healing, only mercy, only compassion, only hope.
"Go and show yourselves to the priest."
What? Go to the priest before we are healed? Why? We'll go because you say so.
And as they went down the road, they were made clean. Skin free of lesions, nerves restored, lives returned.
We're healed. We're free. We can touch others. We can go home.
But one of them, when he realized he was healed, turned back to find Jesus.
I was walking with the others towards acceptance in my community and my old life, but something caused me to stop. I knew I must give the glory to God and thank Jesus.
The Samaritan threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him.
"Were not 10 made clean? Where are the other 9? Was none of them found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner?"
Then Jesus said to him,
"Get up, be on your way. Your faith has made you well."
I was healed and now I am whole.
Faith brings healing, gratitude brings wholeness. And then we were asked in
We
this
didn't.
class to think about how does this Bible verse show up in the world? And to me, Luke 17:11 through 19 shows up every single day. It shows up in hospitals where 10 people receive life-saving care, but only one thinks to tell the nurse or doctor, "Thank you for saving my life." Well, I know a person who flew from Maui to California to thank a surgeon. That person is our own Owen Housen. Owen was in a horrific accident that crushed his body when a car came through the front of a convenience store. He was not expected to live, and certainly not expected to walk again. The surgical staff performed a miracle, and a year later, Owen flew from Maui to California to thank that surgeon. The doctor told him that he had been a trauma surgeon for 25 years and had only experienced a similar thank you once before. He rarely even knew how his patients were doing. So Owen gave him a gift, and Owen received a gift. The parable is my story, as I was an outcast until my late 20s when I initially got sober. Alcoholism reared its ugly head in me when I was in my early 20s. I hit the ground running and was quite an obnoxious drunk. I always wanted to get just right before I went to see my family. I knew they were not happy with me. So I'd have a few drinks, and I would inevitably do or say something that totally upset my mother. My mother was very prim and proper, went to boarding school, all that, and I was quite not the boarding school girl. Finally, my family and my friends ostracized me. They just couldn't take anymore. And I think it made them too sad to even be around me and were just frustrated. And so I became very lonely. And drinking by yourself is really lonely. And I decided to go to treatment. Once my head cleared, I was so grateful to find a solution and people who understood me without judging me. I'm still grateful for recovery. I show my gratitude for the amazing 12-step program by being available to new or struggling women at a Saturday morning meeting that I go to, women's meeting I go to. Try not to miss it. I also volunteer at a couple of conferences each year, and you know what I get in return? I get to live life to the fullest. I would not be standing up here if it wasn't for the 12-step programs in Unity Church. The unity principle that comes to mind when I read Luke 17:11 through 19 is the first. God is everywhere and always present in every circumstance. This divine energy underlies and animates all of existence. I would also add that it's available to all. Healing and wholeness were available to both Jews and Samaritans. It also demonstrates principle 3. Our thoughts have creative power to influence events and shape our experiences. As soon as the Samaritan turned his thoughts to gratitude, his healing experience changed. He became whole, not only healed from leprosy. All 10 had faith and believed that Jesus was the Master and had spiritual powers, which helped bring about an end to their leprosy. But once again, the one with gratitude got the whole meal deal, got the wholeness in return. Okay, we're going to do the personal reflection. You need to try this week and in the upcoming weeks to notice the good in your life and give thanks. And somebody told me one time, before you ever put your feet on the floor in the morning, think of 3 things you're grateful for. And I've been doing that for quite some time now, and it does change my day. I want to start it before I ever get out of bed. And reflect each day on blessings received. I know a lot of people who make a gratitude list every evening. That works. Or just when you, it's the little things. You know, I had a wonderful time with my daughter yesterday, and I made sure to tell her how grateful I was that she carved out that time to spend with me. It's the little things. Reach out to someone with gratitude. I try to do this occasionally. I keep cards in my house. People don't get mail very much anymore. If you're like me, I throw out most of my mail away. So I like to mail somebody a card every once in a while and just tell them how I feel, how whatever they do makes me feel, and how grateful I am that they're in my life. And you know what? It makes a difference. Once again, all these things will make a difference in your life.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a